So now that we've got the budget out of the way, what are businesses and tradesmen doing? Well, the volatility leading up to it meant that a lot of people didn't know what was going on and they kind of sat on their hands. People weren't moving houses, businesses weren't hiring, they weren't growing, they weren't taking on new premises, and everything was really put on hold. And everybody that I speak to that is in business has said pretty much the same thing, that that's been the scenario. And what we're starting to see now is a slight uptick in activity, probably not so much in business investment, but in actual business itself on the run up to Christmas. But a lot of tradesmen and people that I was talking to, when they were talking about VAT being reduced to 30,000 and taxes going up on working people and all such as that, there's one very common theme, and the common theme transfers also into the benefit cap being lifted on the two children limit. I'm not just going to not work as much. I'm going to retire. I'm going to do half as much hours. I'm only going to go part-time. And no matter who you spoke to, whatever avenue they were in, that was kind of their mentality. They're going to reduce their activity, their productivity. And that's what we're kind of seeing with this government. It's not incentivising work. It's not incentivising entrepreneurship or businesses starting up or anything such as that. It's incentivising you to work less because you get taxed more. It's incentivising you to sit on benefits and have more kids because you get taxed more if you go to work. Childcare costs a lot. Do you know what they should do? I'm not saying that we shouldn't have maybe upped the cap, because I do know some kids out there and some families need it. They maybe should have capped it for the first 3 years. Then after 3 years, if you have more than 2 kids, it gets reduced down. Or if you take use of the 3 hours free childcare day, that comes out of the actual money that you receive. Or it should be food stamps or vouchers for supermarkets and such as that. And then at least it's getting put towards what it should be getting put to. And do you know what? That would probably silence a lot of critics of the government doing that. But yeah, 100%, all I seen with the budget looming and the rumours that were circulating around it was a reduction in productivity and activity, not an increase. Now, I know the budget needs to recoup costs for the policies that she's brought in, but the economy is in the toilet, growth is in the toilet, GDP isn't growing, inflation's sticky, we're not really seeing the houses being built that we need or that they've pledged. So we need to be incentivising people to go to work. We've lost a lot of the cheap labour from Europe in Brexit and leaving the EU. So we need to incentivise people to go to work. We need to incentivise businesses for taking chances on people who are sat on the dole, who haven't worked for a few years, and I don't see that really coming, especially with minimum wage going up in April and them trying to bring, you know, the age range all into one working minimum wage. It's a bit like you're kind of stunting growth, you're kind of stunting hiring, you're kind of stunting the economy getting back on a good footing. And I think businesses, when you actually look at it, all the taxes that are paid are generated in the private businesses. So we need to support them and we need to look after them.